Well, thank you, Phaedra, very much, and we are truly honored to receive this award this morning. The story of Eastside really begins in 1976, when East Palo Alto's only high school closed, forcing all of its students to be bused outside of the community to attend 4 different high schools, some at least an hour's bus ride away. Students felt alienated and out of place, and they were academically far behind their new, more affluent peers. The results were dramatic. They dropped out of school. And nearly 40 years later, we still feel the effects of that decision. Today in East Palo Alto, 65% of kids drop out of high school. 65%. I was only in the first grade when Ravenswood High closed, but when I was in high school, my search for the best basketball game around led me to the Onetta Harris Community Center in East Menlo Park, where I formed really strong friendships with the guys I played with throughout high school. And yet, when I realized when I was heading off to college myself, none of my teammates were going. Most weren't even finishing high school, and for some, the outcomes were far worse. They were smart and incredibly hardworking on the court, but they simply lacked the opportunities that I took for granted. So with that in mind, my Stanford classmate, Helen Kim, and I believed that the best way to reverse this devastating trend was to bring a high school back to the East Palo Alto community. So in 1996, we took the plunge, welcoming 8 ninth grade students to our brand new school that we called Eastside College Preparatory School. Now you have to realize we didn't have a campus or even a building to call our own. So on that very first day of school, I picked up those 8 students in an old van while Helen set up the few school supplies we had at a picnic table at a park bench. After that first couple of days, we bounced around from one location to another throughout that first year until we finally settled into a single room in borrowed space. The closest thing we had to a student lounge was the bathroom, where students would hang out between classes. My office was in a broom closet. So you have to realize that being sent to the principal's office when it's in a broom closet may lose some of its impact. And yet, each member of that first class, the Great 8, as we call them, stuck with us, graduated from Eastside, and moved on to a 4-year university. And if you fast forward to today, this past fall, we welcomed our largest student body to date, 330 students on our permanent campus in East Palo Alto. Thank you. Last spring, we celebrated our 14th graduation ceremony, and for the 14th year in a row, every single graduating senior was accepted to a 4-year university. This year, members of the Eastside class of 2013 are freshmen on college campuses all around the country, including Stanford, Princeton, UC Berkeley, Santa Clara, Emory, and Duke. So we're really starting to see a powerful ripple effect take place in our community, as the question is no longer, will I go to college, but rather, what college will I go to? And yet none of these successes that we celebrate today would be possible without the support of our generosity of our supporters. And I can't think of a better example than Tipping Point, because the flexible funding the foundation provides not only supports our operating costs, but also allows us to meet the emerging needs of both our students and our staff. Last year, for instance, we received a targeted mental health investment to fund a set of trainings for our entire faculty to learn a set of new teaching practices to help students understand that effort, rather than perceived intelligence, is the key to success in school and in life. This shift in mindset has been monumental. I see it in our teachers' daily curriculum, in their interactions with our students, and even on the walls of their classrooms. As a result, our students are developing the skills of persistence and resilience that they will need to thrive far into the future. To support our students even more deeply, this year's investment from Tipping Point will make it possible for our students to receive much-needed individual counseling and guidance. So I want to thank you all for all that you're doing to help make everything we do at Eastside possible. It's now my pleasure to introduce Buck Matthews, a member of the Eastside class of 2003, who helped pave the way for all the students that we serve today.